Hello, my friends. So there's some drama happening over on TikTok that I thought was funny and stupid and worth talking about. So this girl here is being held accountable for some choices that she made, and she just doesn't get it. She does not understand why she's facing consequences for her actions, and she is not happy. So let's get into it. If you'd like to like and subscribe, that would literally be hectic. I'm not gonna lie. This is Livy, and she was a DoorDash driver, and she had a delivery to make to a guy, and the instructions said leave it outside the front door. And she claims that when she gets there, the front door is wide open, and there's a guy sleeping on the couch, not responding, not moving, but exposed, we'll say, from the waist down. And the video that she posted of that guy inside his house actually got removed from her account, and she received a strike for it. So I'm not going to show it in this video just to be safe, but I will post a link in the description for the one that I saw. But basically what it is it shows his address, it shows the inside of his house, and it shows this guy sleeping on the couch inside his house. And it was visible from the front door at a certain angle. And while I think it's a little weird that her first thought was to whip out her phone and start recording, I can sort of understand being not traumatized, but sort of taken aback. I can understand wanting some evidence because I would probably report it to DoorDash and maybe even the police. But, of course, she decides to post it on the internet. And then she faces consequences.
So DoorDash just deactivated me 2 days after I reported my sexual assault. Hey guys, I just lost my job, and they won't tell me why. They're supposed to send an email immediately after deactivation providing you the reason why and a link to appeal, and they didn't. So I contacted support, and they made me sit on the phone with them for 50 minutes just to tell me that they can't tell me the reason why, and I have to just go ahead and appeal without knowing why.
So yeah, she calls it SA. And to me, that just screams victim mentality. And I want to make this very clear, and I'm going to say this a few times throughout the video, but what he did was inappropriate. Even though his couch wasn't right in front of the door, it was visible from the front door. Like, you can look in and pretty easily see the couch. He knew a delivery driver was coming, so yeah, it was not a good idea for him to do that. And yeah, I think he should have been reported. But even if he was standing in front of the door, jiggling, and saying, hey, baby, you like what you see, and she filmed it, she would still have been fired for posting it to the internet. That is the problem.
So my chances of getting my account back, they have my money in that account. I was working! I was literally working! And they deactivated me! This is related. They just punished me for posting about my sexual assault while DoorDashing. They just fired me.
So think about what she's trying to do there, right? She's trying to make it seem like some conspiracy that because she posted about an SA while she was DoorDashing, they want to cover it up and they don't want her story to be told. Or you filmed the guy inside his house. How do you not understand that that's a problem? And it would have been totally fine to report that stuff, but you just don't post it.
And the police are doing nothing! I lost my job! And that was my only way to make money to pay my bills!
So this is why she is going viral. It's her reaction and the fact that she doesn't understand what she did wrong, or she just thinks she didn't do anything wrong. She doesn't understand why she's being held accountable, which again is 100% because she posted the video to TikTok. That is it. There is no other reason. It's not because she got SA'd, which she didn't. And it's not because she reported it to DoorDash. and it might make DoorDash look bad or something. It is because she violated this guy's privacy. That's it. And then a couple of days later, she doubles down and continues the victim mentality.
3 days ago, October 12th, 2025, I was a victim of SA by a DoorDash customer while I was doing my job as a DoorDash driver. Excuse me if you've already seen this. This is my third time posting this because TikTok keeps silencing me and taking my videos down and giving me strikes.
Silencing her. And notice she's still saying that she was SA'd because she looked inside this guy's house and filmed him. She was SA'd. And now she's trying to say that not only DoorDash, but also TikTok are trying to silence her. Why? Why would they both be in cahoots to try to silence you? I can understand the logic of DoorDash trying to silence her, even though that's not what's happening. But then why would TikTok be like, hey, DoorDash, I got you? They don't care. It's because it violated his privacy. And then the caption on her video says, I'm being punished as a victim by all sectors involved right now. The police, DoorDash, and TikTok are all punishing me, a victim. I mean, the delusion is wild. If she had maybe taken a picture, reported it to DoorDash, and maybe even the police, and then got on TikTok and told the story, and just said, you guys, I just did this DoorDash, and you wouldn't believe what happened, then it really wouldn't have been a big deal. It probably wouldn't have gone viral, but she would have had her job, and people might have actually seen her as somewhat of a victim. She wouldn't have to start saying she got SA'd, but even as of today, it is clear that she can't wrap her head around the idea that she did anything wrong. She actually did an update video just a few hours ago, and let's see what she has to say.
Hi guys, it's the DoorDash girl. I'm also Olivia, but I prefer to go by Liv or Livy Henderson for anybody who's wondering. And for anybody who's just now hearing about this, what happened is October 12th, 2025, I was doing my job as a DoorDash driver, and my customer requested that their order be left at their front door. And when I arrived at their house, their front door was wide open, and they were within eyesight of the front door, laying on the couch indecently exposed to me.
And I have really been debating whether or not I want to show the original video. There are some versions of it that have been uploaded on other channels and stuff, and I'll put a link in the description to one where I saw it. And there's nothing really inappropriate, but it is the inside of a guy's house, and I don't want to show it on my channel. I mean, if TikTok is taking it down, I don't want mine to get taken down because of it. But if you want to see it, there are other ways to see it. But in that video, you can see that she is not standing directly in front of the door when she takes the video. She is over to the side, like all the way to the side of the door, and she's having to film at an angle across the living room. The couch is over on the wall to the side of the door. But I mean, it was visible enough from the front door that it's messed up that he would lay there exposed like that. Now, I understand when you walk up to a door, even if your delivery instructions say, leave the food outside, it's natural when a door's wide open, because that's unusual, to like peek in and be like, hello. So I don't blame her for peeking in there, but to then call it SA is just a stretch.
And I reported this to DoorDash, and I want to clarify, I did report this to the police the very next morning on October 13th. And DoorDash did ban the customer, and then a day and a half later, DoorDash banned me as well, and this was DoorDash's response to me.
So yeah, like I said, I think rightfully the customer got banned, at least while they do the investigation. And the reason she mentioned reporting it was because there were a lot of people that were like, hey, instead of recording the guy and posting it online, maybe just report it. And we will talk about that in just a second. But for now, let's go over the response from DoorDash. So this explains pretty clearly what the problem was and what she did wrong, and what she seems to still be failing to understand that she did wrong. Okay, so DoorDash says, regarding the video from a Dasher circulating today, we take reports of this nature with the utmost seriousness. We want to be absolutely clear, this Dasher was not deactivated for reporting SA. If a dasher ever experiences something that makes them feel unsafe or uncomfortable, we urge them to please contact our support team immediately so we can help, as their safety and well-being matter deeply to us. It's a lot of HR speak, but it says at the same time, publicly sharing videos taken inside a customer's home, especially when personal information is involved, i.e., their address, and she kept saying his first name, raises privacy concerns and is a clear violation of our policies. In order to protect everyone's safety and privacy, we've deactivated both the dashers and the customers' accounts and are working directly with law enforcement for additional guidance. So, regardless of what happened, as far as like where the couch was and how much of him was exposed and all the details, right? Whether or not she was SA'd, none of that has anything to do with why she was fired. The only reason she was fired is because she posted the video on the internet. So what she should have done was maybe take a picture just so that she could report it to DoorDash, because again, it is inappropriate for sure, and then get on TikTok and talk about it, right? Tell the story, and most of the internet would have been on her side. But as it stands, as soon as she posted that video, everybody was like, bro, you are filming this guy sleeping in his house. What are you thinking? Why are you doing this? So the focus was not on what the guy was doing. It was on what she was doing. And she still doesn't understand, A, that she wasn't SA'd, but also she doesn't understand that the posting of the video on the internet was the entire problem. Either that or she just has such a victim mentality that she just cannot admit fault. And that's another thing she could do, right? At this point, all she has to do is say, listen, regardless of what else happened, I still believe I was SA'd or whatever. She could say whatever she wants, but then say, I shouldn't have posted his private information and private residence on the internet. That's my bad. At least she would get some points for that, but she doesn't want to do that either. So this is the second response from DoorDash, and it basically is saying the exact same thing. Like right here, it says, however, posting a video of a customer in their home and disclosing their personal details publicly is a clear violation of our policies. So that's it.
There have been a lot of people saying things like, I entered the customer's home or I opened the customer's door, but I can assure you that I did not do either of those things, and I have obtained irrefutable proof that the door was already wide open when I arrived to the customer's house. But due to its importance, I cannot post that proof at this time. And to all those that...
And that's kind of a weird way to put it, right? I have irrefutable proof, but due to its importance, I can't post it. And I can understand that you've already had videos of the guy's house taken down, so I can understand not wanting to post more of them. But while opening the door more or going into the house would obviously be worse for her, none of that really matters because, again, the problem was posting it. Regardless of what happened when you got to the house, it's what happened when you got home with the video that was the problem. But she wants to make it about her being the victim, because I have a feeling that's just kind of what she does in every situation in her life. Her first reaction and her natural reaction was to play the victim and cry SA immediately. You know, the problem in society, I guess, we all live in a society.
But I simply say this, we live in a society.
Is there are so many people who are constantly in this state of looking for moments to post, right? So when something happens to them or they experience something unusual, they don't use any common sense. Their mind just immediately switches to, I need to share this mode, right? I need to capture this and share it. Not thinking of the consequences, not thinking of anybody else's privacy or feelings or anything else. It's just, this is something that I need to post so people can see it, and maybe I'll go viral, or maybe they just are addicted to sharing their ideas. They just think everybody wants to see them. So many people like this are potentially ruining their lives simply because they've lost any kind of common sense or just the ability to rationalize or to think through what they're doing. If she had taken just a second to think, hey, this is the inside of some person's house, maybe posting this on the internet isn't the best idea, especially since he's exposed. Now, the story is probably worth sharing because that's weird that he would do that. But because of the brain rot that people like this have, influencers and terminally online people, it never crossed her mind that the story could end up being about her making a bad choice. In her mind, this was all going to be about how she was victimized, and that's exactly what she thought, is that she could claim SA, because in the original video, there's a caption, and it's kind of hard to read here because the only version that I could find online is one that's kind of shrunken down, but you can kind of make out what it says. The guy ordered DoorDash, saw that there was a female name for the delivery driver, and then in quotes, she puts, falls asleep on the couch. So in her mind, she immediately thought this guy was doing it intentionally. Now, is that possible? Yeah, of course it is. Again, I will say for the 20th time, it's weird that he would do that knowing a DoorDash driver's coming. Instead of feeling uncomfortable and reporting it, she saw an opportunity to play the victim online in front of all of her followers and to maybe go viral. Well, she did the latter, but I don't think it happened in the way she was hoping, you know? And I don't know how many followers she had before this whole thing started, but now she has a little over 200,000. So while it's hard to say how much she's grown since it blew up, we definitely know she had at least some people that she could post her life to on TikTok. But yeah, as of right now, she either still has not figured out that the posting of the video was the problem, or she's just refusing to see this in any other light than she was a victim. And she's still claiming SA. So if anything happens, I'll keep you posted. Like I said, that last video, this one right here where she mentioned the response from DoorDash, was posted today, just a few hours ago. Actually, by the time this video is released, it will have been yesterday. It was October 26th. So this is still kind of unfolding as we speak. I would love to know what the guy thinks about all this and what he's gonna do, because a lot of people are like, hey, he should probably sue you. Oddly enough, this one, I think she started modding her comments a little bit because a lot of these are really positive towards her and telling her, don't worry about it. People are just hating on you because you're a woman, stuff like that. So I think she is kind of curating the comments at this point because overwhelmingly people are not on her side. And people are saying that he should sue. So yeah, it's a mess. So this is just another example of someone who is far more concerned with being a victim and being right than using common sense and taking accountability. So we'll see what happens. I appreciate you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.